In today's video, we're going to compare the new Galaxy Tab A7 versus the new iPad 8 or 8th generation 10.2. I'm going to compare just about every category to see which is the better tablet, to hopefully give you some things to think about when buying either of these for yourself, or maybe you're going to buy one for a gift coming up. Either way, I'll leave a link in the description below with current pricing on each the Galaxy Tab A7 and the iPad 8. So let's go ahead and get started. Now when it comes to which has the better speakers, both of these sound really good, especially for an entry-level tablet. The Galaxy Tab A7 does have better balance with speakers on each side and make the iPad sound kind of weird, having sound only coming from one side versus both sides like on the Samsung tablet. Although I will have to say the iPad is plenty loud enough and does sound better than you would think. But when it comes to which tablet has the better overall sound and speakers, I would have to give the slight advantage to the Galaxy Tab A7. Here's a quick sample of what each sound like, just to give you an idea. And unfortunately, still haven't heard back from them. Oh, and then this last part you'll love. You know, I was asking them, I've got a broke piece, I'd like to get that replaced. And here's their response.
Yes, we do offer replacement parts. However, we are currently out of replacement parts at this time. Thus, we would suggest you contact Sam's Club and get an exchange with them directly, which is actually the most efficient method at this time.
So apparently they want me to return this to Sam's Club for a replacement, which you can't actually get because they're sold out everywhere. I guess my initial response was, so now that we know just about everything about the new PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, I thought it'd be a good time to do a quick video on why I'm choosing the PS5 over the slightly more powerful Xbox Series X. Both consoles are going to cost $500 at launch, and there's going to be digital versions of both. Judging by how fast the pre-orders sold out, I'd say both of these next-gen consoles are going to be pretty popular. But you just never know who's... If you want the tablet with better battery life. It's kind of weird saying this because in the past, before I had a YouTube channel, I always thought my iPad battery life was really good. But when compared to the Galaxy Tab A7, it falls a little short at about 6 hours in my battery drain test, while the Galaxy Tab A7 lasted over 7.5 hours. You can't really go wrong with either of these two tablets when it comes to battery life, but in this case, the Galaxy Tab A7 lasts longer and charges back up faster. The display or screen on both of these tablets are 1080p resolution, and I was actually surprised a little to see how much better the iPad screen looks when watching movies or videos on YouTube compared to the Galaxy Tab A7. Even the viewing angles were drastically better on the iPad. The Samsung tablet only looks good when viewing it straight ahead or directly in front of the screen, because as soon as you slightly angle it, the colors and just overall contrast on the screen seem faded or washed out compared to that of the iPad. So the iPad definitely has a better looking screen overall, but I still can't stand the aspect ratio, how it has those huge black bars on the top and bottom. Gaming on the iPad looks really good as well. It definitely feels like you're on a more expensive device than the entry device that it is. The iPad is on HD graphics with high frame rates on PUBG Mobile, while the Galaxy Tab A7 is unfortunately on the lowest graphics settings with medium frame rates. So you can take a guess at which one is better for gaming, just based on this game alone. However, when playing games on the Galaxy Tab A7, I think it plays just fine for most games. Performance is not a huge surprise also after doing the gaming test, but the performance on the iPad is quite a bit more than that of the Galaxy Tab A7. It's definitely not that close in the Geekbench scores as well. And you're going to notice a little more lag here and there while navigating the software on the Galaxy Tab A7, where the iPad feels a little more snappy and fine-tuned than what Samsung has to offer. To me, the entry-level iPad doesn't feel cheap or entry-level at all. If it didn't have the older design with huge bezels, you probably wouldn't even realize it is the cheaper iPad. So yeah, if you want the better performance and better gaming, you're definitely going to want to go with the iPad 8. I know a lot of people are divided on which is better between Android and iOS, but for me, I feel more at home with Android devices. The iPad software is really nice and is a lot better than when I first started way back in 2010. But there's still a lot of little things that bother me compared to Android devices, like no back button or being able to clear all apps quickly. I also don't like how they updated the keyboard on the iPad, so you have to swipe down to type numbers. I mean, seriously, who came up with that idea? It's just awkward. Now, I do like the Touch ID right on the front of the iPad. I know it looks cooler without it on, say, the iPad Air or iPad Pro, especially since you can get a better aspect ratio without that there, but it's so convenient and works really great. Unfortunately, you don't get any fingerprint scanner on the Galaxy Tab A7. So hopefully this video gives you a few ideas to think about when deciding between the new Galaxy Tab A7 and the new iPad 8. But again, this all comes down to personal preference, and I don't think you can go wrong with either of these. When it comes to the software, there's pros and cons to both, and for me, there's just more cons with iOS, so I would lean towards the Galaxy Tab A7 as far as software goes. When it comes to the cameras, the rear camera on the iPad is definitely a little bit better. It's got faster shutter speed. Not really great cameras on either the iPad or the Galaxy Tab A7 though. The front-facing camera on the iPad is better for video, but photos for both tablets really are not great. You could probably get away with using the iPad on Zoom calls or something similar, but like I've said several times before, just use your cell phone. It'll look 10 times better. The last category is probably one of the most important for most people, and that's going to be the price. Obviously, the Galaxy Tab A7 is cheaper than the iPad at just over $200, but has already been on sale for around $150. Now, the iPad 8 is usually at $329 normally, but that's also been on sale already for around $299, and they both have been on sale several times, which makes sense. The more people that buy the entry-level iPad or even the entry-level Galaxy Tab A7 is more likely to upgrade to their more expensive offerings in the future, or possibly buy other Apple products or Samsung products in the future. Some will even be willing to pay $550 for headphones. So more than likely, you get the better deal on the Galaxy A7 right now, or as we get closer to the holidays. But if you can get the iPad on sale, I would go for it. It really is a solid device and just feels a little more premium than the Galaxy Tab A7. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.